And then you caught this.
Right. Yeah, I saw some shark go by that didn't quite fit in.
What'd you make of this thing?
Well, at first I thought it was a great white with some kind of skin condition or, I don't know, it had sustained damage.
Drake, did you have the same initial assessment? What was yours?
Well, it certainly is the size of a great white, but there's more going on than just the skin. Take a closer look at its back.
Okay.
You can see bumps along its spine.
Right there on both sides, right?
Yeah, that's more than just an abnormality. That's a genetic structural difference in its cartilage, which suggests a much sturdier animal.
So in your estimation, this is not a great white.
No, and there's something else too. Take a closer look at that pectoral fin.
Okay.
Right on the back edge, right near the body. You see that point?
Yeah.
That doesn't fit the taxonomy of great whites either, or any other large shark known today. But it does match another animal. If we could get that picture back up.
The freeze frame?
Yeah. All right, so here's the freeze frame from Jake Skelton's sailing footage, right? And right over there, right near the body.
Well, I'll be darned. A point on the pectoral fin.
Yeah. This is the same species, just a much bigger animal, which means that the shark in Australia is not an adult great white, it's a baby megalodon.
Unreal. Mr. Isaacs, this is the footage just as you shot it, nothing's been altered?
Straight from my camera to your studio.
All right, so what's the new evidence now?
A satellite photo near Sao Paulo.
All right, this I want to see. Let's take a look at that.
It was taken by NASA, and it caused some immediate concern amongst the environmental community.
All right, first blush, it looks like a giant oil spill, right?
That was the fear, yeah. You know, there's a lot of offshore drilling along the Brazilian coast. Fortunately, though, it turned out to be a swarm of microbes known as Marionecta rubra, and they're not hazardous to marine life.
Why was this brought to your attention then?
Well, during the initial investigation, the agent who was studying the swarm noticed something out in the water.
Okay, kind of a speck.
Yeah, well, at this resolution, it's a speck. When they zoomed in, though, they got this.
It's a little fuzzy, but I'd say that's a shark.
And not just any shark. If you look at this other satellite photo I brought, it was taken at the same resolution of a school bus yard in nearby Sao Paulo. Now, those are 40-foot buses, and when you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
All right, let's ask the obvious first question here. Do you really think that this is the same animal that was spotted 2 months earlier on the other side of the ocean at Cape Verde?
Look, that's a 3,000-mile trip, and, you know, it sounds like a lot, but great whites have been tracked going 1,500 miles in a month, so for Megalodon, that would be nothing. Also, sharks are known to revisit old haunts. Great whites, for instance, have been tagged leaving the east coast of the U.S., going on a random winding trip through the North Atlantic, and then returning a year later, almost to the day, to the same spot that they were tagged. So similar behavior for Megalodon makes complete sense.
If, indeed, this is Megalodon.
Came across some footage that was shot in Hawaii. Now, it wasn't recently, it was about 4 years ago, but it definitely caught our attention. The video was shot by a father and a son who had come across a whale that had suffered a brutal attack.
What is that? Look at that. What is that?
Now, the original footage was kind of hard to make out, but after studying it and the amateur photos taken from the beach, you can clearly see a bite radius in the whale, and the bite radius is striking. From the vantage point of the kid's camera, the whale looks to be almost bitten in half. It's absolutely insane. Local marine biologists analyzed the whale and determined, as crazy as it sounds, that the tail was bitten off in one bite. Now, this is significant because the biting off of a tail is a specific trait of only a few underwater predators, the mako shark being one of them. But there's only one underwater predator that would be able to bite the tail off of a whale this size, like has been done here. We were psyched to find out about what a kid in Chile saw 3 years ago on an underwater camera feed that he was busy monitoring. He witnessed something pretty extraordinary, and what he saw is kicking everything that we're doing in South Africa into high gear. Okay, pause there. All right, zoom in. Once more. And to the right. I know it's kind of blurry, but look at that. Look at that. That's a fin. As you can imagine, we were eager to determine the size of this thing. We were able to synchronize frames of video, which is a principle originally developed for aerial photography. We could then determine the lengths of the different body parts that we could see, and then off of that, we we could get a solid estimate as to the total size of this animal, and our calculations put this creature at over 62 feet.
Hey guys, Bill here. You guys have been sending me all sorts of links to Megalodon photos and videos, but I'm sad to say that none of it so far has proved to me that Megalodon still exists today. But then again, there is this one video. The video uses the title Megalodon Caught on Camera, and it was sent in by a whole bunch of people, starting with Nicole Stewart, Kirby Games, and Creeperlicious123. It shows what looks like a huge shark at the bottom of the ocean. But is this video for real? Or is it maybe just another mega hoax? Why don't we dive in and see what we can find out? Taking a closer look at the video, we see it claims this video was recorded in the Pacific Ocean at a place called the Mariana Trench. The video shows us what looks like a camera feed from a remote underwater location. There is a strange structure on the ocean floor and a huge fish coming in from the right side of the camera. Although we do get to see this fish for an extended period of time, we can't really accurately measure it for size. There's nothing in view that we could use to show us some scale. I did some research on my own, but when I couldn't come up with much, I turned to Bill's channel chief researcher, Kyle Darkova. Kyle pored over dozens of web pages and was actually able to track this video back to its source, which means I was able to get this, which is the official answer. The video showing a giant-sized fish at the bottom of the ocean has been examined and unanimously agreed that it's a real video.